Justin Trudeau, the 23rd Prime Minister of Canada, has carved a remarkable path in the annals of Canadian history, leaving an indelible mark on both the nation and the world stage. From his early life and upbringing to his contributions to Canada and the global community, Trudeau's story is one of resilience, leadership, and a commitment to progressive values. In this narrative, we delve into the life and contributions of Justin Trudeau, exploring his journey from childhood to the highest office in the land and examining his enduring legacy as a leader. Justin Pierre James Trudeau was born on December 25, 1971, in Ottawa, Ontario, to Pierre Trudeau, the 15th Prime Minister of Canada, and Margaret Trudeau, an activist and author. Growing up in the spotlight of Canadian politics, Trudeau's childhood was shaped by the legacy of his father's leadership and the values of public service instilled by his parents. Trudeau attended Collège Jean de Brébeuf, a prestigious private school in Montreal, where he excelled academically and developed a passion for drama and public speaking. After completing his secondary education, Trudeau went on to study literature and education at McGill University, followed by a brief stint teaching in British Columbia and Quebec. Despite his initial reluctance to follow in his father's footsteps, Trudeau eventually embraced a career in politics, drawn by a desire to make a difference and serve his country. In 2008, he was elected as the Member of Parliament for the riding of Papineau in Montreal, representing the Liberal Party of Canada. Trudeau's rise within the Liberal Party was meteoric, propelled by his charisma, energy, and progressive agenda. In 2013, he was elected as the leader of the Liberal Party, promising to restore hope and optimism to Canadian politics and address pressing issues such as income inequality, climate change, and reconciliation with Indigenous peoples. In the 2015 federal election, Trudeau led the Liberal Party to a decisive victory, capturing a majority government and becoming the country's youngest prime minister in over a century. His victory was hailed as a watershed moment in Canadian politics, signaling a new era of generational change and progressive leadership. As Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau has pursued an ambitious agenda aimed at building a more inclusive, equitable, and sustainable Canada. One of his government's signature achievements has been the legalization of recreational cannabis, making Canada the first G7 nation to do so. This landmark decision not only fulfilled a key campaign promise but also represented a significant step toward ending the stigma surrounding marijuana use and addressing social inequalities in drug enforcement. Trudeau has also been a vocal advocate for gender equality and women's rights, appointing Canada's first gender-balanced cabinet and championing initiatives to address gender-based violence and promote women's leadership in politics and business. Under his leadership, Canada has made significant strides in closing the gender pay gap, increasing access to childcare, and advancing women's representation in STEM fields. In the realm of environmental policy, Trudeau has committed Canada to ambitious targets for reducing greenhouse gas emissions and transitioning to a clean energy economy. His government's investments in renewable energy, conservation efforts, and climate adaptation measures have positioned Canada as a global leader in the fight against climate change. Beyond Canada's borders, Justin Trudeau has emerged as a prominent voice for progressive values and multilateral cooperation on the world stage. He has been a staunch defender of liberal democracy, human rights, and the rule of law, often speaking out against authoritarianism and intolerance. Trudeau's leadership on issues such as refugee resettlement, peacekeeping, and global health has earned him praise and admiration from leaders around the world. His government's commitment to welcoming refugees, particularly those fleeing conflict and persecution, has set an example for other nations to follow. In addition to his advocacy for human rights and humanitarian causes, Trudeau has sought to strengthen Canada's diplomatic ties with other countries, particularly in the Asia-Pacific region. His efforts to deepen economic and cultural exchanges with countries like China and India have opened new avenues for cooperation and collaboration. Trudeau's commitment to international development and poverty alleviation has also been evident through Canada's increased contributions to foreign aid and humanitarian assistance programs. His government's focus on sustainable development, gender equality, and empowering marginalized communities has helped to elevate Canada's profile as a global leader in humanitarian affairs. As of the present moment, Justin Trudeau remains Prime Minister of Canada, leading the country through a period of profound challenges and opportunities. His government continues to navigate pressing issues such as the COVID-19 pandemic, economic recovery, and climate change, while also addressing long-standing issues such as reconciliation with Indigenous peoples and social inequality. Trudeau's leadership during the pandemic has been marked by decisive action to protect public health and support Canadians through unprecedented economic disruption. His government implemented emergency measures such as income support programs, business subsidies, and vaccine distribution efforts to mitigate the impact of the virus and accelerate recovery efforts. Despite facing criticism and challenges along the way, Trudeau remains a popular figure both at home and abroad, admired for his inclusive leadership style, progressive values, and commitment to building a better future for all Canadians. As history continues to unfold, Justin Trudeau's contributions to Canada and the world will undoubtedly be subject to scrutiny and debate. However, his legacy as a transformative leader and champion of progressive values will endure for generations to come, shaping the course of Canadian history for years to come.